So welcome you all to our collective calls we hold every Tuesday and Thursday. Today is Thursday, and I'm happy to present 3 projects today to pitch their deck, to answer the questions. So you know the drill. And as always, hosting today's meeting, myself, Ivan and Malika as a co-host as well. Thanks for coming. Be sure to share your screen and turn on your camera when you're presenting. And happy to see everyone's here. Ben, thanks for coming. I'm glad you made it. Passing the mic to you. When are you ready? We will start.
Okay, so my name is Benedetto. I'm the CEO of Folks Finance. Folks Finance is DeFi protocol that is targeting to revolutionize this industry by bringing smart contract technology to traditional finance, and I'll tell you how we do that. First of all, we want to explain that the crypto market is broken. There is users that engage through crypto through app like Revolut, Robinhood lately, and they're extremely expensive. At the same time, on the other side, we have the opposite, which is DeFi, which is very free and very hard to use, not friendly, but it's competitive in terms of prices and very secure. And on the other side, we have the middle point, which is centralized exchange. So allows you to enter the crypto world, but at the same time, you don't have much of reliability because those companies often fails, as we have seen in the past. Folks Finance is targeting to merge the advantages of those 3 worlds. So we want to deliver banking products that are based on smart contract technology. And we do that only in one single app. And at the same time, we do it in the smoothest and simplest way. Our tools use cross-chain technology, which is the latest innovation in the DeFi industry. This is, for example, a cross-chain lending that we have in our app. A user can deposit and borrow seamlessly from different chains. So, for example, we have a user depositing from Arbitrum, some USDC. Those USDC could be borrowed in a totally different chain seamlessly thanks to the messaging layer, which is Ethereum, and the user can even collateralize on another chain at the same time. So this is showing how much is efficient in terms of user interface, this new technology. And at the same time, being able to use cross-chain technology allows to aggregate liquidity from different networks into one, so improving the operation. Same is for the swap. It's simple to understand the difference between standard swap and cross-chain swap. Standard swap are operated into liquidity of one single chain. Cross-chain swaps aggregates liquidity of multiple chains, so it is a much better price impact. And lastly, one that we are developing is the cross-chain liquid staking. Basically allow you to access staking from different chains to different assets seamlessly between the different addresses that you hold. And this is the biggest market on DeFi that we are also targeting. For us, becoming a leader in DeFi is not the target. It's one of the targets, but it's not the final point. That's why we're building a mobile app that is basically our way to do fintech on smart contract. And our mobile app allows to have custody and self-custody and custody through us. We obtained the VASP license a few weeks ago. So we want to provide the security of DeFi tools, but with the option for the new users, the newbies, to enter in a very low friction environment. Plus, our mobile app is connected to a debit card that allows the users to actually top up their balance, not by selling crypto, but collateralizing those on our DeFi loans. Apple is for phones, Amazon for logistics, Robinhood for stocks. Folks is going to be for blockchain. That's our target. This is an analysis of our main competitor in the different markets that we highlight, and we try to combine the best of those industries into one. This is some numbers. We have kept growing over the past year. We are a profitable company. And in the last year, we generated over $3 million, and the burn rate is about $100,000 per month. The round, we recently announced our latest round. There is still room of commitment. We raised a total of 6.2, and the last round was done in 2 parts, which were $2 million plus 1.2 million. The final valuation is $75 million. There is 10% TGE. Unlock, 6 months cliff, and 6 months vesting. And this is a bit it. I'll leave the rest for questions.
Yeah, thank you so much for the great pitch. We already got our first question. We are already on 6 chains and planning to expand to 10. What's been the biggest challenge in scaling cross-chain interoperability?
So the biggest challenge, I would say, is to be able to have many girlfriends. So every chain is like a girlfriend, honestly, because it's not that you deploy in a new chain and you get all the market. Every community is attached to the chain. So entering into the community is a little bit, it requires time. A user needs to trust you, they need to see you as a protocol of the chain. And the best way to do that, how we tackle it, is through grants. So for example, in Avalanche, we got a grant to launch in the chain and it was easy to scale. Now we are working on new chain grants. These are incentives, not grants for the development, but incentivization of the adoption. So we are going through this. Plus, once our token will be live, we can use our token as well. We haven't launched the token yet.
Okay, thanks. The DeFi credit card sounds super unique. What's the biggest hurdle in connecting it to RWA and making it user-friendly?
Oh, this is a very beautiful question. So the biggest hurdle to connect it to RWA, but it's like the biggest opportunity at the same time, is that RWA are very good for DeFi, but not compliant with it. But our mobile app it is, because the mobile app has KYC. So we can connect permissioned market through the KYC to borrow and utilize liquidity that is permissionless. So the flow would be, for example, you have tokenized real estate. You can use it as a collateral and borrow because you have KYC, so we know who you are, and you can do it with a security. And you can borrow something that is on a permissionless market because it's anyway permissionless, so it's fine. So this is why it's hard, but through our solution it's possible.
Okay, thanks. Do we have more questions here? Meanwhile, maybe you can tell us what is your strategy for scaling from 18,000 users, right? You have now?
Yeah, correct. So there is different level for us of scaling. So every new chain that we had, it's a new audience that it's open, right? So adding a new chain, launching new tokens, doing partnership, basically entering in the chain, especially with the grants, is the easiest way. It's the best way to grow. Right now on our website, not on our website, on the bank, we are running a campaign. My phone is full of notification. Like we do social campaigns to grow users constantly. We are launching one with a big Web3 wallet next week. So we constantly do new user outreach. This is for the pure DeFi Web3 part. For the mobile app would be a little different plan because we'll target also a lot of newbies to the crypto world. So we will use also more Web2 strategies.
Got you, thanks. Do we have more questions here, Ivan?
Absolutely. I have one, but I just want to remind you guys that we post all the contact details, Telegram handles, and emails, websites in the chat as well. You can find that by scrolling up in the chat section. Thank you for that. And we have some time for the last question, maybe a couple of them, but I obviously have a question. So Ben, could you elaborate on the team? Tell us a bit more about it. How many members do you have? So
the team,
expertise and so on.
The team started from the largest Web3 software house of Italy, where I used it to work as a project manager, and so our background of developer came from the software house, and it's mainly Italian, mostly located in Europe. We have a few team members in the US, a few in Asia. Myself, I'm mostly in Asia right now, even if I'm Italian. But it's decentralized, I would say. In terms of the skill, so myself, I used to work as a blockchain project manager for 2 years before starting Folks. And our CTO used to work at Amazon. One of our advisors is an OG in crypto, Maja Vujinovic. She holds different key roles, like I think she's chairman in Republic, so she's also very helpful. And the rest of the team is Web3 legends.
Okay, great. And yeah, lastly, your biggest plans and milestones for 2025.
Definitely the token launch and the mobile app. So I'm a very heavy user of debit card connected to crypto. So I'm going to be the first and the most aggressive users of it.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Hopefully this will make it work. Okay, guys, so that's all the time we have for the first speaker. Thank you, Ben, for pitching here.
You.
It was a pleasure hearing you out. Wish you best of luck. I wanted to present you the second one, Itai, OscarAI.
Yeah, thanks for having us, first of all. Interesting project so far. Okay, I'll start talking about how we came here tonight. Essentially, we're in the crypto space for quite a while. I'm actually from 2011, and I started actually my journey into crypto through mining, because back then that was the easiest way to acquire crypto that wasn't like through the dark web and so on. And I had like one of pretty big projects, like mining projects here in Israel, together with my partner Itai, and we were like 8 partners. We had mining facilities here and like in Israel and in Cyprus. And after a while, actually, we decided to move on at about 2017, 18-ish. Most of our GPU hardware that we had was kind of worthless, let's say, and it was like really good hardware that we couldn't do anything about it. But after a while, we saw how the AI craze really came, and it was a new wave that essentially made our rigs reusable. And we were like, wow, why can't we connect it maybe with crypto and bring this opportunity to more people? So essentially right now we have built a platform that connects startups that need computing power, mostly for AI and ML modeling, model trading, to our mining facilities. Plus, I don't know, if you have, for example, a mining facility, you can connect to our proprietary software for it.
Hey guys, yeah. So thanks, Lennon. So as Lennon was saying, we're here to bridge the gap between cheap and expensive cloud computing services. So our whole endeavor in this project is to bring more affordable solutions to SMBs that want to take advantage of cloud computing for their AI modeling. And the biggest bottleneck that's been in the current market is the cost of the compute power, which has gone up by like 3,100% in the last couple of years, just because of the launch of OpenAI and all the new AI innovations in the market. So we actually had this idea very early on, even before OpenAI came out. So we've been, working at this for quite a long while, because we've had we've seen the need from our own personal GPUs that have been left out without use. And going forward, so I'll just go according to the deck then. So going forward, as you can see, the main bottleneck in the AI industry is the cost of compute power. That's just some graphs showing the raising prices, which, like I said, has gone up by about 3,100%. So we're revolutionizing the space of blockchain as a service. And why we say that is because we aim to be revenue positive as we launch. So as opposed to the traditional crypto project that caters more for the Web3 community, our project is here to cater for the Web2 community. So we're a blockchain-based project that wants to bring our cloud computing to Web2 SaaS companies. So our aim is to take advantage of blockchain while catering for traditional Web2 companies and become profit revenue generating as quickly as possible. So in terms of our front end, it's not, we model it around what Web2 companies are used to seeing. We kind of remove the crypto from it quite a bit. And in a sense, we're quite centralized as well at the moment, because we accept, we will be accepting dollar payments for the services. So we're aimed at, making this broadly accessible. Our product and our token We're planning on launching in Q1 of this year, so it's coming out very soon. And we've just been working on this for a very, very long time. We've really, kept our heads down. We've actually been quite quiet in the market, but now we're ready to go, and we're ready to go very strong. So we're very excited to show the world what we're about. I can just take you guys through the rest of the deck. Why are we doing Sui? We've just, had a great response from Sui. Sui's been, very willing to help us in our technical endeavors, as well as we're attracted to the community and the possibilities on Sui. So how we work, decentralized GPU mining. So we're connecting miners with companies that need their technology, their hardware. As Lennon said, we're in the model training sector. This is just the basic user flow of how it works. So, a job is submitted. Currently, we've based this model around our token, but it won't be functioning off our token. We're actually going to use our token in the beginning for reward incentives, and we're going to use the ability to pay for the services in cash. So we're dynamically changing this day by day. Great components of our software, AI market forecast. And I'm actually going to quit with the presentation. And just on another side note, we've been gathering a lot of interest from various end users, specifically in the defense industry and the defense sector. So we're very excited about that. And that's the end of the pitch.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. We've got a comment here in the chat from Wendell. Bloom and several others are also decentralized, and the problem is leaking data. Could you?
Yeah. So we're not coming out decentralized. We intend to be to some level centralized, and that reason is because we want to be able to offer our services in a more secure manner to Web2 companies.
Thanks. Okay, I hope.
Wait 1 second.
Sure.
So, but you literally opened the slide of what you're doing, saying you're the first decentralized GPU network.
Yeah. I'll take it in general. Yeah, we started actually as fully decentralized. We were a layer 1 solution based on the Cosmos IBC, and we've actually started transitioning to having a second model that is a bit more centralized. The main reason being really is because we want to onboard as many Web2 companies as possible. They're way more profitable. I don't know if you've seen, there are a few projects that do.
So what are you using the blockchain for?
So it's mostly logging transactions and so on. But at the moment, we are shifting to be a more, let's say, centralized product.
It seems like you do not need the blockchain at all.
That's correct. We don't need completely the blockchain, but miners are very familiar with operating systems.
But wait. Now you're saying miners again. That's decentralization, but you just said you're not going to decentralize. So I don't understand.
So it splits to two parts. The one part is essentially the centralized part. That's the end user, whoever needs to train their AI model. They essentially log into the website and they don't even need to feel that they're using crypto. But in the back end, we have essentially miners and nodes that they are running all of the computing service. So essentially, they run an operating system similar to Hive OS, if you've heard of it. It's essentially called our...
But the problem with all of those OS systems and everything else is it leaks data. And you were just talking about defense. Defense requires secure compute all the way through. You can't use a decentralized solution in that way because it doesn't secure the data. You can always leak it and do like a cache overflow on the RAM.
Actually, it's pretty basic, but there are many file authentication services that essentially you lock out the computer that's mining the data. They don't have access to the data without a special private key, and the private key is only the end user that has already that gets their job that's already done.
Yeah, that's the reason why this isn't done in the way that you're talking about. There's this whole entire thing called confidential compute that talks about secure element on device, especially with GPUs and on the individual processing that you're doing. Unless you're providing an instruction set to the GPU itself, that private key, you can do a overflow attack and steal the information still. Like, that's not secure. Like the only way to actually do it is if you're providing the instruction set, the individual chip, and with the miners, you can't do that. Like, you can't just containerize it.
So far, we have done it, and we have actually.
Look at Bloom and like 15 other solutions. Like, this idea that you have is very common. Like, people on this exact like call, I think this idea was pitched just a few months ago again. Like, it's not, and it's always the same problem. Like, you need to provide instruction sets to secure the data. That means you have to have chip access. So like, that's not a small thing to talk about. Unless you're doing like RISC-V, if you have RISC-V chips, then you can provide your own instruction sets. So
again, we have a way of distributing the data in a safe way that so far, at least, we didn't have any attacks on our system. Again, we're at the moment doing it in I wouldn't say the biggest scale out there, but we do have
data distribution isn't the issue, it's data processing.
So far, I can tell you that we didn't have an issue with it. We've split, we've even split work through a couple of nodes.
That kind of just means that you don't have the clientele yet. So, and like your pitch goes between being a blockchain and a centralized pitch. So it's like the centralized solution, you could solve that. You could build a containerized environment and you can lock it off Amazon and everyone else does it. They just have to trust you. The decentralized solution, you run into a bigger problem with that, especially when you have in order for you to compete with like Google and AWS, you guys have to use the decentralized solution so that therefore you can monetize it. But that then limits the clientele that you can use for that. And a lot of the problem isn't even training the models anymore. It's running like the agent systems that you need to kind of do across the board with it. So
yeah, thank you so much, Wendell, for your comments and for your criticism. Always welcome. Yeah, I'm sorry for interrupting, but we've got more questions and are quite limited in timing. Yeah, guys, I will read some questions from the chat. What's the biggest advantage for SMBs using your platform over traditional AI ML cloud services like AWS or Google Cloud?
Yeah, that was the question on the chat.
So our main competitiveness is coming in price, of course. If you've tried to use AWS and so on, we're roughly 40 to 60% cheaper on average for most work. The main reason being, of course, is because we're using a bit older hardware. The miners usually have a bit less efficient GPUs. The work is a bit slower, but in the end of the day, like there are many SMBs that care more about cost than anything else.
Okay, hope it answers the question. Thanks. And another one, how do you ensure consistent performance and reliability when relying on decentralized GPU power from idle rigs?
Yeah, so at the moment we have a system that actually duplicates the work and splits the work. So essentially there's work that happens in a couple of GPUs nodes at the same time, and once it's complete, it all connects together.
Okay, got you. Thanks. Yeah. Maybe we have some
still have some time for one question, maybe two. So guys, feel free to leave a comment or ask anything. Okay, so that will be me. I think so. What are your long-term goals for the project? So what direction you want to take your project into?
Aaron, you want to take it?
Yeah, so as I said before, our long-term goal is trying to introduce Web2 users to a Web3 friendly application in a sense that they can get more cost-efficient solution, and also to help people with idle rigs utilize their rigs once more to make some profit. So we're trying to make a more holistic solution. It is the goal in the end of the day to go to a purely decentralized type of operating. And we're working very hard on that.
Got you guys. Thank you for answering my question as well. And just to remind you guys, we got all the links and contact details in the chat. So if you want to get in contact, maybe ask a few questions, feel free to, go through the chat and find our like message or so. So yeah, sadly that's all time we have for the second project. Thank you guys from OscarAI, Oscar Network. It was a pleasure having you, and yeah, thank you our participants, viewers, for your questions and comments and your maybe criticism that it is here around. Always happy to see that. And yeah, apparently guys, that's all the speakers we have for today. Apparently Jasper has some connection issues, so yeah, we will maybe postpone the call for the next time. So yeah, happy to see him next week or so. And guys, if you want to pitch here and be our next guest as well, just feel free to fill the form for participation that we just posted right now, right here in the comments. We also have a feedback form, and I'm happy to collect some feedback and make our calls better. Apparently there's some room to growth here, and yeah, thanks for joining. Yeah, wish you best of luck. Have a happy weekend and see you next time. Thank you, Malika, for helping me out. And yeah, see you next time.
Thank you. See you next week.